never matters what other people are thinking of you. It's what you think about yourself, about you knowing your own reality. And I think that women-centric friendships are so important because they bring something to your life that nurtures your soul.
The woman, the legend, and the icon, Zeenat Aman, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you.
Zeenat, we have so much that we're waiting to unpack today. But right off the bat, I actually want to thank you for being here today. We've had some fabulous women come sit here on our coffee couch and come for all of these online sessions, but none who worked in the pivotal time that you did, spending so much time in the limelight, and of course, none, I'd like to think, as far ahead of their time as you.
Oh my.
This mission and movement that our community stands for and is based on, and so many of the strides, in fact, that all of us women are able to make are because of the actions, the words, and decisions of women like you, and the norms you pushed to push culture forward. So yes, while we get to celebrate it, I also want to take this moment to thank you for the example you've set and the legacy that you continue to build. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me here. It's so wonderful to be here in a room full of women who want to make a difference, who have aspirations, you know, and for the ladies online. It's very special. It is special. And I'm very happy to be here. Thank you.
Okay, so before we get started and get into all the heavy questions, we have a little tradition at leap.club, and it's our version of the rapid fire.
Okay.
We have curated a leap.club hamper
Whoa.
with our very own member-led brands.
Okay.
But you have to win it, which means you have to be rapid and full of fire.
Oh
Then
my.
do we get the hamper out?
Actually, you're going to make me jump through the hoops?
Maybe. But you are on the coffee couch after 2005, so let's see what you've got.
Okay.
Cool, are we ready?
Yeah, if I need help, I'll reach out.
Your favorite role, apart from, of course, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram?
It's been a long journey, many films. My one favorite?
One favorite.
Of course, Rupa in Satyam Shivam Sundaram, Nisha in Manoranjan,
Yeah, iconic.
and yeah, Sheila and Kurbani, so many actually, Roma and Dawn, quite a few.
The best part about being a mother?
Creation. You creating a human being and then nurturing that human being for many, many years. Creation.
Your least favorite part about being a mother? Zahan's not here.
I know. Letting go. Letting go. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's difficult.
For your creativity, early mornings or late evenings?
Early mornings.
Early mornings. The most unpopular opinion you hold?
It's the wrong place to voice this thought.
We're all ears.
But, you know, I think that high street fashion is very overpriced.
It's true. Your career in one word?
One word. Ongoing.
The biggest challenge you've had to overcome in the 70s?
I think invasive media scrutiny. Invasive.
We'll talk about that one.
Okay.
The biggest challenge you've had to overcome in your 70s?
I think the way old age is perceived, you know, it's like you're expected to retire or to give up or, you know, stop living life to its fullest.
We're not retiring.
No, we're not retiring.
The one sentence you tell your 25-year-old self?
don't lose yourself in your relationships. No matter where you are in your life, what age you are in your life, don't.
The one trait you've honed in your career?
I think perseverance.
Thank you for those truth bombs, but now it's the big reveal. Are we giving her the hamper? Yeah? Dens, you know what to do. It's coming your way, but we'll keep it next to you.
Thank you.
These are
Thank
from
you.
8 of our beloved member-owned brands, and we have one sitting right here.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, we're full of surprises.
And I didn't have to ask for help either, no?
Okay, now that we have that out of the way, the tougher questions, we're very keen to jump right in, learn from all your experiences, your journey, and of course, go back with a lot of takeaways. My first question for you, Zeenat ji. Throughout your career, I think ever since your early days, your decisions, your work, they've always made waves, right? And you continue to do this even today, challenging norms, starting conversations, now, of course, on social media. First of all, I'd like to say we're all here for it, but we'd love to know what makes you want to assume that role of a provocator, right? And what really keeps you going?
I don't see myself as a provocateur at all. I just am. And at every stage of my career or my life, I've made decisions which seemed appropriate at the time. I mean, it's the old cliche that, you play with the cards that you're dealt and you make the decisions that you have to at the time. But that's what I've done and I continue to do. And it's just being real and true to oneself.
Do you think that's changed over the years, or you've always been?
No, I don't think so. I think with age you have a certain freedom and you become extremely bindas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think it's evident to all of us, right? We, of course, see it as a part of Instagram captions and so on and so forth, but you have a lot of depth, right? You were a writer. You've had a host of other jobs before becoming a model, an actress. You've campaigned for a party at one point. You also wanted to work at the United Nations. I feel like now we have collectively come to a place where we can view people, and I'd like to say women especially, in binaries, right? And what I mean by that is beauty and brains are no longer mutually exclusive. But now this nuance and this complexity wasn't always present back in the day.
True, very true.
How did you view or how did you cope with this very one-dimensional image of yourself in the media? And I'd like to say in the media.
Ragini, I started working when I was very younger.
19?
I was working before that as a model. I actually started working since I was 16. So for me, it was about getting the job done, enjoying the work and moving on to the next thing. I never really bothered about labels or who said what and whose perspective, was what. For me, it was important that I knew what I was doing. My friends and family knew who I was, and that's really all that mattered.
Yeah.
So that's really what it is. It never matters what other people are thinking of you. It's what you think about yourself and about you knowing your own reality. Yeah.
In an article with BBC, you mentioned being young is wonderful, but so is being old. What are a few things, Zeenat ji, that you wish your younger self knew?
Okay. Now, that was not the BBC. The BBC took my caption and repeated it.
Oh, wow.
Okay?
So this is the only interview she's doing, guys.
So it was my caption from
Okay.
one of my Instagram posts that the BBC repeated. Sorry, what was the second
You said
part?
being young is wonderful, but so is being old.
When you're young, You have a lot of energy, you have the world to explore, and there's a lot going on. But when you're old, you have the wisdom of hindsight, experience, knowing how to play your cards, how to do things in a relevant way, and basically not caring a hoot. That's what comes with age.
The gift of hindsight.
Yeah.
And if I had
gift
to
of
flip
hindsight.
this, what are a few things that were a big part of who you were as a 25-year-old that you now miss? The zany baby, if I may.
Well, really, as I said earlier, it's just the energy and the youth and being as fit as one can be when you're 25. You know, some of that doesn't translate into when you're a septuagenarian.
Fit and how?
It doesn't translate, no.
Even at the peak of your career, though, Z, I think the showbiz world had a lot of men, right? It was primarily male-dominated, from the cast to everyone on set.
Yes.
What was your experience navigating this? Did you try to navigate it at all or no? And why I'm asking this is because, you know, we're in 2023 and rooms like these are now hopefully becoming more common. But I think every single woman who's on the screen, or a lot of women who are here, they have been the only girl in the room, myself included.
Yes.
Right?
That
So-
happened to me, yeah.
Yeah.
For
So
most,
how was
most
your
of my
experience?
career.
Yeah.
But I never really thought about it. I never really thought about, you know, I'm the only woman in the room kind of. I didn't have that sensibility. It was all about the job at hand, the work at hand, the performance at hand, and being an actor, listening to my director and following through, you know, and delivering what was required. So I never really gave it serious thought. But now, you know, I find it so wonderful to see so many women participating, especially in the business that I'm in, you know, at all levels, whether it's behind the camera, you know, directing, doing production, and young ladies from very well-heeled families who are coming in and doing all these things. So that's really, really wonderful.
So things have changed for the better.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. But what were some of the more challenging parts? You mentioned you started working really young, 16, and if my research has me right, but Hare Krishna, Hare Ram was when you were 19.
That is correct.
What were your best and the most challenging parts of working in the industry at such a young age?
Ragini, I never really thought about, and things just happened very, you know, in a very organic way. It was Hare Ram, Hare Krishna became successful, then I started getting other work, and it was all about, you know, my youth was just spent working all the time. Morning to night, I was on a film set, and I was shooting, and I was working, and I never thought about it. I just went there and did it. So that was what that period of my life was like.
Yeah. And that was the best part also?
No, it wasn't the best part. It was one of the best parts.
Got it.
Yeah.
Is there that one moment you remember from your career?
One moment from my career?
Yeah.
Well, actually, when I got my Filmfare Award for Hare Rama Hare Krishna.
Yeah, which was the first movie she did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sex symbol. I'm going to pull it out.
Oh my, oh my.
This is a term that's been used to describe you a lot, even back in the day. How do you feel about this now? Looking back, was it something you embraced? Was it something you didn't care too much about because it was just maybe a byproduct of the times or the kind of roles that you were also kind of typecasted in, right? Because you were unlike the many other leading ladies that were there. You were a lot more modernized, you were a lot more Western. So what was going through your mind then? Did you like it? Did you not like it?
You know, your answer is in your question. It was a byproduct of the work that I did. You know, the kind of roles that I did, the kind of work that I was expected to do. And I did not challenge it because for me it was work.
Yeah.
It was paying my bills. and things were happening, and I did not think twice about it. Did I embrace it? No, I did not feel defined by it. I did not feel defined by being called a sex symbol, because I think that all of us, every one of us, has so many different aspects to our personality. Just because one aspect is highlighted, it doesn't take away from everything else that goes towards making us who we are. So I never felt defined by it. I just thought that it was something that was, it came with the territory of being a movie star.
Because at the same time, if I have to think, right, there was another leading lady who was called the quote-unquote dream girl. So I'm just wondering, because all of us here at some point have always compared ourselves to another person, to their journey, to their career. What's your message for women who get typecasted, stereotyped, put in a box?
Basically, it's like this. Think about what you want. Think about what you want to achieve. Think about what you have to do to get there, and be resilient. Believe in yourself, because really at the end of the day, it is resilience and perseverance that will get you where you need to go. Yes, talent and hard work do count, but it's secondary. And believe in yourself. Surround yourself with people who will support you, whether it's your family, your friends. Stay away from the naysayers, and that is the only thing that I can say about that.
Yeah, and be in a room full of women.
Yeah.
What, according to you, and you mentioned all the roles that you did and the work you did, but if I have to really nitpick the highlight of your career, or that one glass door moment, as they call it, what was it for you? And what did it take to get there?
I'm sorry?
What was the one highlight that you had?
In my career?
Of your entire career.
That's a terrible question, Ravini.
Sorry, I'm so sorry.
I have had more than
I think that deserves a clap.
That is 15 years. You want me to pick one moment?
The one defining moment.
Okay. I was accepted as a westernized leading lady, really, with songs like Churalia being a hit, and Dam Maro Dam, and Lal Kapdo Wali Mem Saab, and all of that. But when Raj Kapoor cast me in Satyam Shivam Sundaram as a daughter of a pujari with a burnt face, it was a very exciting moment for me.
I was doing my research, and I got to know how you got that part.
Mm-hmm.
And that was extremely inspiring, because we live in a world where we keep saying that, raise your hand, ask for what you want.
Absolutely.
Would you like to share how you got
the
iconic role of
It's
Rupa?
An oft-repeated tale.
I don't think many people know about it. I was telling Shreya about it.
You can tell them. I've said it so many times.
So she showed up as Rupa on his set and said, I am Rupa. And that's what happened. And that's how she got the part. But that's what I know.
Yeah,
what do you know?
That's a very short version.
That's a short one. That's a short one.
Yeah, that's a very short version, but you get the gist of it, yeah.
But we'd love to know. Tell us what happened there.
We'd been working together, Raj Kapoor, Shashi Kapoor and myself had been working together in a film called Vakil Babu. And Raj Kapoor was writing the story of Satyam Shivam Sundaram. And he was very involved with it. So in between the shot, in between takes while we were waiting for the lighting to be set up, he was talking about his concept, his vision, and I was on set with him as playing other parts in another film. And I was so inspired by what he wanted to make. So one day, when I was shooting for a third film, a little away from his studio,
Set, yeah.
After I'd finished my shoot there, I really did dress myself up in my interpretation of what his Rupa was like. I put some tissue paper on my face, I put some makeup, wore a long choti, wore a ghagra choli, and I landed up at his cottage. His cottage was where he stayed at RK Studios, and he worked from there. And I knocked on the door, and his man Friday came out. whose name was John. And I said, John, sir ko bolna ki Rupa aayi hai.
Iconic.
So Ranji was flummoxed. Rupa? Kaun Rupa aayi hai? And then I entered into his office, that cottage space. And he was really, I think he was just impressed with my zeal and my passion and my wanting to be there and play that part. He immediately phoned his wife and he said, Krishna ji, come. And she came, because at the time I was a very big star, star, whatever that means. So I was a very big star. So he felt that I had gone the extra mile because I really wanted to do this film. So then Krishna ji came, she bought some gold guineas, and that was my signing amount for Satyam Shivam Sundaram.
That's an iconic story.
Yeah, but it's been told so many times.
I don't think anyone here knows about it.
Oh,
yeah?
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Now we know.
So, when you want something and you're passionate about it and you're ready to do your due diligence and the hard work that is required to follow through on it, go for it. Just go for it.
I would say cheers to that. Last month, Zeenat ji, you shared such an incredible picture with Rekha. I remember you've always spoken so gracefully about Parveen Babi, who at the time was at least portrayed as competition. How common were female friendships in the industry back then? And was it easy to maintain given what I would like to think also the media had portrayed the both of y'all as, or was there no competition at all?
No. I'll tell you what happened at the time. Everybody was busy. Rekha was busy, Parveen was busy, I was busy, Hemaji was busy. We were all very, very caught up with our work and our lives. But whenever we met with respect and acceptance of the other. I think all this controversy and strife was all just media made.
Yeah.
Me created to sell some magazines, obviously. So there was never ever any real ill will between any of us.
Yeah? And you
At
were all
all.
friends? Would you call yourself friends?
No.
Okay.
We were not friends. We didn't have time to build friendships. A friend is something very deeper and closer. But we were well-wishers and we were friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So leap.club is of course built on this feeling of community, right? About women powering women. How important was having a tribe back in the day? And you mentioned friendship is something deep. So how important was having that tribe of women? And is there anything that you see in the world today that you wish was there in the 70s and 80s?
At that point, my tribe was very small because I was a working woman who did nothing but work from morning to night, non-stop for 15 years. Actually, I missed out on all the normal things that a young woman would do as a teenager or as a young adult. I really only stopped working after my first son was born. So subsequently, with time, one's tribe grows. And I think that women-centric friendships are so important because they bring something to your life that nurtures your soul. It nurtures your soul in many, many ways. Would I have changed anything? No, I'm completely satisfied with the way my life is. Yeah.
We wouldn't have it any other way. But we've spoken a lot about life back in the day. Let's switch gears to the present. The campaign we did. Crafting team is here somewhere. Raise your hands. There, of course, at the bar. We wanted a face for leap.club. Someone who would do justice to who and what we stand for as a brand. And if you remember, I told you, we have never had a face rep our brand, right? And usually with names, what happens is everyone has an opinion. There is a like or there is a dislike or there is a maybe, maybe not. But I think on this one name, it was a unanimous yes, and a big yes. And I was thinking a little bit more about the why, right? Because I was just like, this is the one name. But I think something that for us contributes to your evergreen presence is the way I think you participate in the social discourse of the day. Especially since this was not a skill the entertainment industry was supposed to have or expected to have. How do you stay informed? How do you stay aware? How do you stay ahead of the curve to be able to contribute in a world full of toolkits, if I may?
Well, again, it's all about being true to you, who you are, being true to yourself. I don't have knowledge about everything that goes on. No way. Nor am I a great activist for anything in particular. But I have compassion. I believe in being kind to one another. I believe in being kind to all animals. I believe in trying to look after our planet. I believe in democracy. I believe in, equality. And I talk about things that matter to me. So that's really what it is.
Zero filter.
Yeah, zero filter.
Love it.
Absolutely. Also, one does watch the news. You watch the news and you know what's happening in the world one way or the other. You do. Yeah. It's not always good news, but you're aware.
Anything particularly that troubles you, that disturbs you? Like, I've removed all the news from my Twitter.
Yeah, no, really,
Yeah.
obviously, war, people killing each other. I mean, and it's brought about by reasons that are just not palatable. It's just greed and destruction, and it's sad. It's very sad.
Yeah. Switching gears back to your role as Rupa, it caused a huge stir, right? I remember you facing accusations of obscenity, so on and so forth. And I have to share, of course, she has me stumped. We loved this quote-worthy observation you recently shared, right? And you said, I don't find anything obscene with the human body. And we love that. Do you think the female human body is still viewed along similar lines? Have we evolved or have we not at all in this regard?
No, Ragini, I'm sad to say that the kind of evolution that should have happened hasn't yet happened. It hasn't. I think that a lot of times women are still objectified in many ways, and things are changing, but they haven't completely changed. Also, it's about the aesthetics. How is a woman presented? How does a woman present herself? I mean, these things all matter. But what has changed is the participation of women in creativity.
Yeah.
Like all the last 3 directors that I worked with are all women. And then women bring a certain sensitivity to the table. They bring a certain sensitivity to the creation, and hopefully that will over time, change and diminish all objectification of women.
Yeah. What
Fingers
measures
crossed.
can we take? What else do we need to do as women who are capable of changing things?
You can't completely, I believe you can't completely eradicate this. It's all about how part of it is about the presentation of the feminine self, truly. But you will always find men who do objectify women, and that's the reality.
Yeah.
That's
Stop
a
talking to
reality.
men.
That is a reality.
Yeah. In your article with Vogue, you spoke about how liberating it is to be able to express yourself through your Instagram account now. How important do you think is an actor's off-screen persona, and how does it impact their work or their perception of their work? And why I'm asking is, of course, we have a lot of founders. We have one sitting right in front of us, right? And even me as a founder, right? I think sometimes we're just like, can we put this, can we say this, can we talk about what we really feel about the government? And sometimes we're just like, maybe, maybe not. How important do you think is it to voice your views? Does it affect work? Does it not affect work?
Well, I have a very clear view on this. Politics is personal.
Yeah.
Religion is personal. So I never talk about these things. At all. At all. No matter what. No matter what I think about the situation, I will not discuss politics or religion. But apart from that, it's important to express yourself and believe and stand by what you believe. And how does it impact one's work? I only know one thing, that sometimes it creates more work opportunities.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Like it has for me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
it
we
does.
love the money.
Yeah.
No, I'd actually like to talk about money a little bit. Z, you've had, I'm sure, lots of learnings in the matter, even having invested money of your own in some of the movies that you did. At a time where there wasn't a lot of financial literacy, and I still like to believe we have a long way to go, what did you learn about managing your money, and what were some of the bigger learnings along the way?
I was working since I was very young.
Yeah.
So my money was managed by my mother. For many, many years, she managed all my finances because I just spent my energies on getting the job done. And she was astute, she was smart, she was a savvy businesswoman, and I learned a lot from watching what she did, how she invested, how she carried out and did what had to be done. So subsequently, after she passed, I was able to manage.
Yeah.
But I think it's very important for all women, all girls, from a young age to be taught money management. I think everybody should be taught money management, men and women. But since we're in a room full of ladies, it's a very important. Money management is important.
And the secret stash, from what we know. Yeah.
Yeah, always something to live. I have always believed in living within my means. Cut your coat according to your cloth. Old cliche, but very true. And always put something aside for a rainy day.
Yeah.
For sure.
We have a question from the audience, and it is, what advice would she give to the younger generations, especially to the young women stepping into the workplace today?
Believe. Believe. Have faith in yourself. You can do it. You may not do it the first time around. You may not even do it the second time around. But keep at it. Have a goal and work towards it. Persistence and resilience will always get results. Always.
You do have an audience exclusively of women today. What are some things from your journey, apart from, of course, persistence, resilience, and just learnings from, I think, failures that you'd like for them to stay away from? Things that are red flags, as we like to call them right now. Things to be careful about.
What I think most women should stay away from, you know, on a flight, they say when the oxygen mask falls, you should cover your nose first and then help somebody else. Do that in your life. Do that in your life. Take care of you. Because if you take care of you and you are strong, then you can take care of others. No matter who you are, whether you're in business, you're a housewife, you're a homemaker, you're, running a family. Take care of you. Because when you are strong, you can help everybody else.
It's a good cue to my next question, which is around mental health, also picked from the chat box today, which is, as much as women today are trying to do it all, and also not compromise on jobs, relationships, all of that, it does take a toll on your mental health. It does take a toll on your being. At what point do you draw the line, and at what point do you just accept it?
No, but it's very simple, you know, it's just so simple. Just do as much as you can. You don't have to push yourself in 100 different directions. If you can't, if there's too much going on, step back, evaluate, and then do as much as you can. Because at the end of the day, take it from somebody who's a septuagenarian, your health is extremely important, both physical and mental. And if you're talking about mental health and it all becomes too much, step back and do as much as you can.
But what about self-doubt?
Sorry?
What about self-doubt?
Self-doubt?
Or the fact that everyone else is doing so much more.
You
and everything
know,
that Instagram feeds us.
Honestly, me personally, I don't think you should worry about what anybody else is doing. Carve your own path. Why are you looking at what somebody else is doing? Just look at what you need to get done, and that's what counts.
Yeah. I'm gonna take one last question, and it's gonna be a slightly sensitive one. But it's definitely a note I want to leave everyone on. You've been incredibly honest, open, and vulnerable in your interviews. Do you find it easy to be vulnerable in the public eye like this? Is it something you've worked on? And how do we, as a crier myself, how do we as women find strength in vulnerability?
Ragini, I think it's something that you don't have to think about. I think you have to be authentic. If you are authentic, whether you're strong or you're vulnerable, that is your reality. And that's really what it is all about. Just being real. Be real. Be real.
And with that, we're almost at time for the online session. It's been so wonderful to hear from you, Zeenat ji, and I think I'm speaking for all of us here, and I know we had to cut the time down, but I think the last 45-50 minutes were extremely inspiring, very raw, very real. Cool. With that, we have come to the end of this beautiful session, if I may say so myself. Zeenat ji, your charm shines as much in person as it does on screen. Thank you so much for coming in today. We're so grateful you took out the time and braved the traffic and the rain to come and speak to us. One heads up is that we will not be able to accommodate individual pictures. So we'd love it if you all can come here for a quick group photo with Zeenat ma'am. And that one's going to be one for keeps. मिट जाए बोलो सुबह शाम